Welcome back. Well, many people think of Social Security for retirement, but the administration also makes payments on disability.
So how do you know if you qualify and how do you apply? Joining us now is attorney Lauren Zwirlein. She is a partner at Tabak Law, and she's here to chat about Social Security, disability, and some changes to the application process. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much changing with this, but it's really something you guys specialize in, is this Social Security and disability, right?
Right. It's my primary practice area. So this is what I do all day, every day. I've made it my life. And yes, this is what I love to talk about.
And I feel like, you've made it your life. It's pretty complicated thing to make your life because things are always changing. A lot of people maybe aren't even aware of the fact that this same administration handles so many people connected with retirement, but also disability. And people have benefits that they may not be aware of, or they maybe have been denied and they're frustrated.
Absolutely. A lot of people do get denied. They think that they're going to file on their own, or they try and submit all the paperwork and then they get a rejection. And that can be really tough. And that's one of the things you have to do, is just kind of push through and be persistent, because there are benefits and a lot of times people are entitled to receive those. They may just have to jump through a couple hoops in order to get them.
So how do you apply? What's kind of the process here?
Yeah, so historically there's been 3 ways that you could submit an application if you're wanting to file specifically for disability. So you could apply online, you could call into a local Social Security office by phone, or you could walk in and do it in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple different ways. And there are 2 new changes to the application process that are important for people to know.
Yeah, so the first thing is Social Security is adding kind of a step before you even apply, and it's called identity verification. So Social Security is asking everyone to go online, create a My SSA account, and then there they would verify their identity. And then once you do that, then you can go ahead and submit that application.
Okay.
Now, the second change, though, is that they're probably not going to be allowing people to submit applications by phone anymore.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to be just trying to direct people to submit that application online after they've done the identity verification, or go in again in person. You could do it at an office.
Okay.
Is that a lot of times to make sure there's no scamming? Because, I think about all the scam calls we get, or AI, how they can mimic voices. Is any of that a piece of it?
Yeah, exactly. Right. They're just verifying that you are who you say you are, right? And that you are the person associated with the Social Security number, right? That's how Social Security recognizes all of us. So they want to make sure, okay, this is the right person and they're applying for the right thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Are there any exceptions to these changes?
Yeah, so there's going to be maybe a couple. So one of the things about the walk-in appointments, where you're going physically to a Social Security office, they're requiring now appointments for that. So you have to schedule that out and say, okay, I'm coming in 3 weeks or in 6 weeks or whenever that is. They may still allow walk-ins in certain situations. Not everybody has a Social Security office near them. So if they've traveled a long way, or perhaps there's some sort of problem with the My SSA account, there's technical issues, they may have to just go in without that appointment. So Social Security will, on a limited basis, accept those walk-ins without that appointment.
Okay.
Now, one of the things that you say in your information is that identity verification might also be required if somebody is changing their direct deposit information, right?
Yes, exactly. So on the back end, so once somebody's started receiving benefits, whether that's retirement or disability, if they want to change their banking information, most people receive their payment by direct deposit. They do still send out paper checks, actually, but that's less common. But so if you want to change that electronic banking information, you're going to need to go online, do that identity verification first before they're going to allow you to make that change to receive funds in a different bank account.
Got it.
So how can you help then?
Yeah, so if you're working with an attorney, Social Security, what they're telling us right now is that they're going to maybe be a little bit more relaxed in some of these identity verification rules to start. These are a lot of new changes, and these changes may change again. We're kind of just going with it day by day, week by week, as the administration is making these changes. So right now what they're telling us is if you're working with an attorney and you're applying for disability, it's going to be a little bit easier to submit that application. Ultimately, I think everyone's going to need to do the identity verification at some point, but getting that application filed and the ball rolling might be, less hoops to jump through if you've got an attorney on your side.
It seems like a pain in the butt, but ultimately it seems like it's a safety issue for people to make sure that they're getting their benefits.
Exactly. Yes. Right. Obviously the government wants to pay the correct people.
Yeah.
And, as you said, with scams and things like that, and when money is involved, of course, you want to be safe.
And we know seniors are so targeted.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know?
And an important thing I think to note, and this was in your notes, is that you can find your local SSA office by using this field office locator tool that's online. So you type in your zip code, so you show them where you live, then it'll help direct you to the place to start the process, right?
Exactly, yeah. Whatever office is nearest to you. So Social Security's website has a lot of tools. So, yep, type in your zip code where you live, where you reside, and then that'll give you the office that's closest to you that you can drive and go for your appointment or walk in.
Because you can't create an account for someone. They need to do that, right?
Exactly,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
We as a law office can kind of guide people through, okay, these are the steps and this is what you're going to need to do the identity verification,
Yep.
but it's not something that we could do for someone, of course, right? You have
Okay.
to do that as an individual.
Makes
I love
sense.
that you do free consultations. So we're going to give the information so anybody can chat with you about this because it can be confusing. Anything with online or any of that can be confusing, I know, especially for people on Social Security. So good to have you here.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Tabak Law offers free consultations for all practice areas. That includes the Social Security, disability, veterans benefits, and workers' compensation. You can call Tabak for the payback at 844-593-0496. For more information, you can visit them online at tabakattorneys.com.